What's going on, fellas? Here at a autocross event at Harrison Raceway, and it's a fun run. It's nothing too crazy, too much going on. I'm just here, kind of. For me, it's just trying to get my reflexes back. Just trying to fill out the track, fill out the car, get real familiar with it, and see what I can do. You know, I'm out here trying to have some fun. I've already done a few runs, and I will definitely show those for you guys. I'll probably record this one as we're talking, but this is one of probably the easiest things you can kind of get into, as far as like if you want to get into performance driving. Autocross can be very intimidating, but once you kind of just get the jitters out, it's very fun. I mean, like I said, I haven't been on the track in over a month, so for me this is just like a precursor to kind of getting back into the swing of things, as far as, you know, knowing my lines, knowing where I need to be at that specific time when I need to make a move. So this is more or less, for me, it's just to kind of recalibrate my brain to racing rather than driving normally, because, you know, that can make you very, very slow if you're just so used to just driving on the street and not on the track. Your brain is naturally going to do certain things that will hinder you as far as like time and everything like that. So I'm definitely trying to get out here and just get my wits about me again, so I can jump back into the circuit and hit the ground running, so to speak, or hit the ground driving. These are, like I said, these are fun runs, so they don't really count towards anything. I just thought I'd come out here. I had a weekend, and it was like 40 or 50 bucks, so it wasn't that much to do. Come out here, burn some gas. You know, I think what you take from this, what you take from doing these type of events, far outweigh the price, to be honest. Especially when you don't have to work it. It's like 100 degrees outside. I am not trying to sit out there in 100-degree weather doing some freaking cone duty. Not doing it. So I'll post this run right here, and then I'll talk you guys through what I'm doing, so you can kind of understand what's going on. Let me go ahead and hit the record button on my GoPro. Good to go. All right, I'm in second gear now, trying to hit the closest I can get to the next cone to make that turn, and try to do as minimum movement as possible. That's usually going to cut your time. And this course is pretty easy compared to others. It's not a lot of weaving. It's just big turns, swipe through. So this really isn't something that's too challenging, but you know, sorry, I had to focus there because I missed this turn last time, and I'm over here talking trash. Oh yeah, I could get, and I took my time on that. I could actually make more time. So I got a 42 there. I probably could have gotten like a 40. I think where I messed up at was some of the turns I took a little too wide, and then my downshift was a little slower than I would have wanted it to be. I could have got a 40. But again, these are all fun runs, so it's not a big deal. It's not something that I need to get. But overall, I think the course, I did pretty well on it. Like I said, if I could stay close enough to the cones, to the last cone before I make my turn, that is going to be the key to more time. I haven't done autocross. Well, I think this is like my eighth time now. And what I've learned in autocross is that if you can get to that last point to where you know you have to transition to a turn, if you can hit that apex early and get the car to rotate the way you want it to, you'll make plenty of time. I don't think other than that, I think that's where a lot of time is being left, because I know exactly where I was when I hit some of those cones, and I know where I slowed down. And you will start recognizing those issues or those habits. I wouldn't say issues, those habits when you start to drive, because you also got to remember when you're doing this thing, like adrenaline's going, you know you're on the clock, and you know you're trying to hit every corner and not hit a cone. So you're worrying about all of that, and then you're trying to get a good time. So, but again, it comes with muscle memory, so it's not really something you get on the first try. You kind of get these things the more you do them. And for me, I've gotten better every time I got on there, minus the one time I completely missed the end of the where the timer was, because there were two out there and I identified one and it was the wrong one. So, but that's cool. I don't mind, saying my mistakes. That it's all good. Again, at the end of the day, it's a fun run. So I'm out here just trying to have some fun, man. And that's what most of you guys should do. When you think about coming out, for your first track day, or if you were even considering it a little bit. I mean, this was $50 or something like that. It's not that expensive. And you kind of get to get out here and just really push the car, man, without, having cops to worry about giving you a ticket. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, get out there and, just try it at least once. I think if you're into performance car and you love to drive, I think you should get out here at least once and just see if you like it. You might like it, you might not, but just give it a shot. So I'll probably come back with a end of the day verdict on what I've done and what I could improve on, and let you guys know, how the event went. But I'm gonna focus on these next two runs and see if I can get a better time. So see y'all in a bit. Oh.
Are you paying attention? Good.
All right. So this is a week after the autocross. I didn't do an immediate aftermath of the autocross, just due to the fact that, man, it was a scorcher out there. It was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But so I didn't do that, and I was pretty tired. My last two runs, I think I got like a 39 on my best, and then a 40 after that. I did like 2 or 3 more. I did try to plan on staying for the open track, but I decided not to, because I think I got everything I needed to out of that, and I was kind of getting a little sloppy towards the end. And it was funny because I was pretty adamant about doing it. And I even asked the guys, the coordinators or whatever, hey, man, is it going to be open? Because I started seeing people leave. Usually that's what happens, and later in the afternoon when it comes to these open fun run events, they'll start leaving around like 1 or 2 o'clock p.m. So when I started seeing people trickle out, I'm like, man, if he can just open this thing so I can just get a lot more runs in, I think I'll be pretty happy with that. So I asked him, and then soon as I kind of sat long enough to where the adrenaline was just gone, and at that point I was just feeling the need to wanting to leave, I was over it at that point. He came over on the Polaris too, one of the coordinators, and said, hey, bud, we're about to open it up. Free runs or whatever, no lines. I was like, dang, dude, I'm already about to leave. I appreciate it though. I was pretty bummed out, but at the same time, I was satisfied doing a fun run. And, I learned a lot about this WRX, especially in the TR form. I am going to do a separate video, just describing, I would say in decent detail, not grave detail, but decent detail on this car versus, oh, there's an STI and they're looking over here. They might turn around. Um, it might be this car versus the premium that I had, and what are the immediate differences that I noticed as far as suspension. Because for those of you who watched my older video, I did Autocross a 23 premium, and I do want to do a comparison video and see exactly what what the differences are in comparison to basically a full street 23 premium with no mods versus a pretty much semi track prep TR. I kind of want to let you guys know the differences so that you can shop a lot more efficiently and effectively, when you guys are out there looking for a car to not only do your daily driving and doing all what you do from day to day, but also something that you can track. So before I get into a little bit more of the autocross to close this video out, this is also an update because the last time I posted this video on this car, it had a red wing. I am now paint matched. So you guys see that there. It is paint matched now. So y'all can leave me alone in the Reddit post. And again, the Reddit post, I'll probably post a link of what I have posted in Reddit if you guys aren't tracking. I was doing a little bit of trolling there in regards to putting the red wing on just to kind of see what it looks like. And, I don't take myself too seriously when it comes to this stuff because at the end of the day, man, this is all fun. This is something that is just a little hobby of mine, a little bit of, break away from the norm, right? So believe me, I don't take any of this stuff too serious. I just do some stuff with the car. I figured my setup was going to be just all ignition red accessories just to see what it looked like. And to be honest, it was okay for a little bit. And then I was like, maybe I kind of wanted the blue to have the blue bases and then the red top. But then I was like, nah, let me just go ahead and just go paint match because if I want to go, for example, carbon on the front end, right, instead of the red, like if I want to switch it up, it doesn't even take that long. Putting on the arrow took me like 30 minutes or so. So if I do want to go carbon front lip, carbon side skirts, then, I could do that in a heartbeat and not have to worry about, meshing with the wing and everything like that. So it's just basically like, preventative measures so that I don't have to go all the way from, doing the side skirts, the front lip and the wing every time. So it's just, now I can kind of keep the wing because it's all paint matched. I am going to keep the mirror caps though for now. And again, if I do run carbon in the future, I am going to go get the carbon mirror caps just to kind of bring out the look as well. So like I was saying on the autocross event, fellas, low barrier to entry. It's really something that I encourage a lot of people to do if you're driving cars like these. It doesn't necessarily have to be a WRX or anything like that. It's just something that if you got something with a little bit of sportiness to it, Miata, whatever, obviously Miata is one of the best cars for it. I would highly encourage you guys to look into it. I mean, again, it's probably the lowest barrier of entry, and it's fun. It's like it could be very competitive. Don't get me wrong. They do have professionals that do this stuff, like, I would say down to the last millisecond. So there are people who do this, who live this life seriously. But if you're just in it for the fun, man, the fun runs are there, especially during the weather as it is now. They're there. And then I would also encourage you to try a skid pad just so you could kind of learn how to handle the car when it loses control. Not only will that help you out in the real world, if you're running into some inclement weather, and as you can see, I'm in Pennsylvania, so we have snow, and learning how to control your car when it gets out of control definitely will help you, help you save your own life. while you're on the street. So, I would definitely, like I said, encourage that. And for those of you who are beginners at autocross and things like that, I guess the only advice I can give to you guys is like, feel free to make mistakes, and make sure that, don't take yourself too seriously at the beginning, because if you do that, you're not gonna catch the minor details that help you become a faster driver. And don't go in there, obviously, I think this is with anything. Don't go in there thinking that you know everything, even though you kind of got a little bit of a taste of it. Like I've done, I would say about 10 autocross events, something like that. I kind of lost count. And I still learn something new every time I go. So for me, I would say, go in there as if you're brand new. Try to see what other people are doing, what other people are running, and just see how they're hitting those cones, especially if they have the same drivetrain as you. Like for me, when I went out this weekend or last weekend or whatever, I did pay attention to a lot of the Subaru guys, and just to see the all-wheel drive, the RS, the Ford, what is it, Fiesta? No, not the ST, but the Focus RSs, and anything that I knew had an all-wheel drivetrain, I definitely paid attention to them to see how they took each cone and how they kind of gained time every time they did a lap. So for me, I definitely try to see how different people operate their cars, especially if they have, for example, a VB like myself. I'm definitely going to look extra careful to kind of see if I can take any pointers from them on how they drive the car. And sometimes, some of these people are very approachable, and they'll say, hey, man, you want to get in, ride passenger, especially for the people who are experienced. I would definitely take that ride, because I think you gain a little bit more if you feel it rather than somebody teaching it, like saying it to you. For me, I'm more like hands-on. So if I can sit with somebody who has more experience, I think I gain a lot more from that. So I would definitely encourage that. If you do go out to your first track event, please don't be afraid to kind of lend a hand, or ask a more experienced driver, hey man, can you ride with me? Let me know my mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes at the beginning, and you want to make those mistakes so that you can be better the next time you go on track. And then seeing that improvement is like one of the best feelings in the world. And I'm telling you from experience, like when I first started doing this a year and a half ago now, it's like a night and day difference. I kind of understand lines and where I need to put the car in order to get a really good turn and stuff like that. So for me, it's just it's all learning, and it's all fun. And I try to keep it well balanced and not take it super serious. Although I do plan on trying to get fast enough in order to qualify for a time attack in this car, but I got a ways to go, and I got a lot to learn. And I think if I keep that perspective, I'll be good. Hopefully by next summer, I'll be ready for a good time attack, and then I'll start digging in more into that. But at the same time, I will also take you guys on that journey with me, because I will be recording my progress as I, try and get faster and faster on the track. And also, if you guys aren't really into the track work, I am going to finish doing this build series. As you can see, like I said, I got the red accents that I might change somewhere in the future. I am going to get the rear spats, the red ones. So for those of you who mentioned it before in the Reddit post or anything like that, I am going to get those. I'm just waiting on them. And then I am going to get a rear diffuser to kind of round out the build. But I'm also going to get some other stuff to kind of switch it up. But just stay tuned for that. And for those of you who are interested in anything I've mentioned today, autocross, if you need any advice on, this car in particular, how it drives, if you're in the market, just let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.